Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+. Rated TV MALV. Viewer discretion advised. Maya Lopez has betrayed her mentor, the notorious Kingpin. Now on the run, she returns to her hometown to prepare for the biggest fight of her life. Don't miss Marvel Studios' hardest-hitting series yet. An epic 5-episode event. Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows, but also bonus episodes each month. But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
Because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/bloodyhappyhour.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
Oh, and this is Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour, Thursday edition, full episode. This ought to be your favorite day of the week.
Oh, it is. It is. And if it's not, you better make it.
Yeah, starting today.
All right now.
Right now. This is also happy hour, but Caroline, we've never recorded this early in the morning.
We haven't.
Never. So my happy hour is cold coffee.
Mine is
and protein.
Gatorade and Spark.
Well,
it was a little
that.
Spark, and then it's probably mixed with, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's our early morning drink, but you know what? We're recording again tomorrow, and we're going to be having our happy hour.
We absolutely are. Maybe I'll get like some tequila or something fun.
Let's tell them about our addition to Quickie for next week. And we might as well tell them what happened to Carly Russell because they just heard about it Tuesday because we were real ahead when we recorded it. Caroline, was she a Papini? Did she tell a Papini?
She was a Papini.
She was a Papini. Damn it. And so family went silent. And then her lawyer came out just 2 days ago or yesterday and said, she been lying. And she's so sorry.
There was no baby. There was no kidnapping.
There were some Cheez-Its.
There were definitely some Cheez-Its. There was no getting in a truck. But the thing, and then the attorney came out and said he had a meeting with the police. It was a great meeting. And I heard there are going to be some kind of charges. I don't know.
They're thinking about charges.
Yeah. They are returning money. So if people donated to Crime Stoppers, you can call and request to get your money back.
Give me my refund.
Because there's people out there like, I gave $20 out here. I'm pissed. Give me my money.
It's not going to go to Carly, damn it. It's going to Crime Stoppers. So it'll be used for another crime.
Pissed.
Man, people ought to open up their heart a little bit more. Wow. Okay. Is there any silver lining? I guess the only silver lining. And at least I think Sherry Papini was still keeping up her lie. Did she ever like?
Oh yeah, because she kept up her hers lasted
4 years.
for years.
Yeah. But did she,
And
when
then
she finally got caught, did she ever say
Well, the way she got caught was because they had found
DNA?
the DNA, but there was never a match for it.
Oh, and she was like, "No way, no way."
Well, because like they had the DNA at the beginning, but nobody was matched in the system, and then I guess like the ex-boyfriend's brother, cousin, or something, or uncle, did a family tree thing, and then it matched, and then it brought it back up, and then she was busted, and it was amazing to watch.
Well, she's asking for prayers. Maybe she needs to go get a little evaluation. Poor thing, she's never gonna leave this down. They've been calling her Carly Smollett.
Her boyfriend broke up with her officially.
I mean,
he allegedly he was treating her with a stripper, and that's why she was real mad and wanted to disappear.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that there's no human trafficking ruse ring where they're like setting up a little child and you go up the child and they're actually kidnapping you.
This child, it was obviously some kind of Olympic runner. Well, I think he was, because he was running six football fields, 600 yards.
It
that
was
fast.
Usain Bolt's American love child.
It could have happened, and now she's being forced to say that it was a lie because the Illuminati is in on it.
Okay, goodness gracious. Okay.
I will go to lengths to make anything a conspiracy.
Yes, we will.
And JonBenet is Katy Perry.
Yep. So, what are we going today?
We're going to Arizona.
Okay.
We're going to Buried in the Backyard.
What? Okay.
So this is, I don't know if it's a news show, but coworker Denise, shout out, who comes into my office daily to we discuss.
Not dirty. Denise.
This is Denise. She comes in every day and we talk about the latest. And she's like, I don't think I even went to church this weekend because I was too busy watching murder shows. So she told me she watched the show Buried in the Backyard. It's on Oxygen. And she told me the story and I thought it was great. So I had to just do it.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to start you off with a little bit of a teaser here. So this is in Arizona, in the desert, no, like bushes, no flowers, bunch of cactus, in early January 26th. It's miles and miles from a rest stop, and this family parks at this abandoned motel to do some rock and fossil hunting like any normal family would. And all of a sudden, the son runs up to the mom and is like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. And the mom comes over and she looks and she sees a skull buried with like blonde hair. So that's
in the desert.
In the desert of Arizona, east of Casa Grande, Arizona. So this story is about 69-year-old Loretta Bowersock. She was a successful businesswoman. She had recently acquired some local fame because her and her daughter had opened up a consignment store, furniture consignment store. So she was married. She had a daughter, Terry. They got divorced in 1964. So this is an older lady.
Okay.
So she gets divorced. Her and her daughter, Terry, moved to Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. And then in 1979, together, they open this consignment store. They get a $2,000 loan from grandma, and
damn, you open a business with a $2,000 loan?
Well, back in the day.
What year are we in?
So in 1979
is where we're at right now.
Yes,
or is when you're telling the story, or that's when they open
1979 is when they open their store.
Oh, okay.
So they open their store. They call it Terry's Consign and Design Furnishings.
Love it.
So this business quickly went to a multi-million-dollar. They went from $2,000 borrowed from grandma to over $36 million in 10 years.
Oh, target on your back.
Yeah, you can see where this is going. So Mama Loretta, she decides she's going to upgrade. She's like, well, I'm making some money. I'm going to buy me a new house. I'm going to get a little big house,
you deserve it.
Yeah. So, but she got a little too big of a house, and she started to feel lonely. I think she should have got a pet, but her daughter was like, in Three's Company, what they did was they put an ad in the paper for a roommate.
Oh, no.
So she done went and put an ad in the paper for a roommate.
Don't get a roommate.
So this is 1986. She puts an ad in the paper for a roommate. And we got, lo and behold, guy rides up on a motorcycle and he answers the ad. And he is from Scotland. He's a CEO, a businessman.
Oh, but you need to live with somebody else?
He answered the ad and his name was Taw, T-A-W.
It's all a lie.
It's a bunch of red flags already. Scottish entrepreneur. He had invention dreams. His name was Taw Benderly, and he busted up in that house on that motorcycle and just stole her heart and much more.
Oh, did he give her some vitamin D?
I think he might have. He was a good-looking guy. I mean, he's 50 or what is it? She was 50, he's 48. So they're an older couple. I mean, so back, like, they look older, but like nowadays, 50 and 48,
yeah,
you look like you're 20 because you get
Yeah.
old. But this was back, so they do look older.
They do look 50.
But they were cute. They were like a cute little older couple.
Yeah.
He was good looking, blue eyes, whatever. And he had all these dreams about making these different inventions. He wanted to build some type of business people chair, a lawnmower blade that would cut sideways. I mean, he just had all the ideas. Okay. He cooked. He cleaned.
Oh.
He was a handyman.
Oh.
And
is her love language acts of service?
is Loretta my mom? So Terry and Loretta, daughter Terry, mama Loretta, both loved the guy. They're like, he's great. He's great. So now it's 2004. They've been together for 17 years.
I mean, she's 102 by now.
She's in her 60s. She's actually 69.
Okay.
So she was 50 when whatever, math.
I'm just thinking, if she got divorced in 1964, she had to have been born in
35.
35.
I think that's what I said.
Wow.
So they're in their late 60s. They've been together for 17 years. I mean, what? Everything's great, right? Well, they decided to, it was like late. Okay, at one point, Terry buys out her mom from the consignment store. That way, Loretta can go and travel and spend time with Taw, and they can live their best life. So in late December of 2004, Taw had a meeting in Tucson, and it was about one of his inventions.
Okay.
Solar panels. He was doing something with solar panels. So he had some kind of project meeting, and so Loretta goes with him, and she wants to go Christmas shopping. Well, Taw drops her off at the mall while he goes to his meeting, and then 2 hours later, he goes back to pick her up, and she's nowhere to be found.
And now a word from our sponsors.
All right, if you love smoothies or if you love your protein in the morning, you need to get you a Blend Jet. You can do that if you go into blendjet.com. If you enter the code BHH12, you get a discount. And let me tell you, these things are portable. They are easy to use. They can fit in your cup holder. You can have it at home or you can have it in your office like I do. Right this morning, I had my blueberry banana one
How was
with
it?
some chia seed.
Wasn't chunky or anything?
It was very smooth.
Wow.
when I have it in my shaker, it is a little chunky. So this is a great alternative.
I love it.
It is battery powered, so all you have to do is plug it in every 2 weeks, and the battery never runs down.
Oh my gosh, I love battery powered things.
Go to BlendJets and order you a BlendJet and get a discount.
Thanks, April, for sharing.
Did you know you could be putting oil and chemicals in your coffee? I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned the bottle around to actually see what's inside. When I did, I found out many of my favorite creamers contain ingredients I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil, dipotassium phosphate, ew, and artificial flavors. Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton needed morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. He couldn't find anything in the market that met his ingredient standards, so made himself the ultimate plant-based creamer. Laird Superfood started and launched its first product, Original Superfood Creamer, in 2015. Laird Superfoods contain no artificial flavors, colors, or additives, and no sugars from highly refined corn syrup. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. All Laird products are also made of all-natural whole food ingredients, and they are crafted from the highest quality all-natural real food ingredients. Are you ready to feel more energized, focused, and supported? Go to lairdsuperfood.com and add nourishing plant-based foods to fuel you from sunrise to sunset. Use our promo code BOO at checkout to save 15% off your purchase today.
So Taw calls Terry and is like, Terry, your mom is missing. I can't find her. And Terry's like, I'm busy. Go look inside. She's probably at the counter somewhere. She's trying on perfume. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Time goes by. 40 minutes later, Taw calls Terry again and is like, I still can't find her. She's still missing. I think something happened to her. So Terry gets in her car. She gets in her Porsche. And she makes the two-hour drive. She heads to Tucson. So at 5:44, Taw calls 911, reports her missing. Officers show up, and they're like, Taw goes on to say, well, I think that she was kidnapped because she was a well-to-do woman. She was kind of locally known or whatever. So even if she was a couple hours away, she was a wealthy-looking woman. She's well-dressed. She had, a purse with her, and maybe they stole her purse. And then he was like, there was this white van that was following us in the parking lot.
There's always a white van.
And I'm pretty sure I saw the door open.
Slide open.
And I'm pretty sure it was following us on the drive and in the mall parking lot. Yeah. So
there's no traffic cameras either to back this up. Back then, it's 2004.
2004. So there's cameras all in that mall parking lot and in the mall. So the detectives are like, okay, so well, let's look at the cameras. And Terry, she's DTF. Okay.
Down to
find. So she's down to find. Police examine the surveillance footage and they find no evidence of Loretta being at the mall. And they don't even find that the couple was ever in the parking lot. He must have parked to where there were not cameras.
Obviously.
I mean, it's obvious.
Or they just didn't go. Was there a white van in the parking lot?
It's possible because there was a white van that showed up at the hotel that they were staying at.
Okay.
So Terry's DTF, she's down to find. She's calling the news station. She's calling the radio. She's making flyers. The media's all over it. They're looking for this white van. They're like, okay, we're about to get a ransom call. Like somebody, let's go. Something's about to happen. We're ready. And 24 hours go by, no ransom, no nothing. And they're like, So December 14th, so we're a couple of weeks out. When did that happen? The 4th? December 14th. Police go to Loretta and Taw's home back in Tempe. It's Phoenix, Tucson, and Tempe. So they were in Tucson. Now they're back at home in Tempe. And the police go and they're like, can we just check out the house and just whatever? And you know what they find in the mailbox? They find foreclosure notices in the mailbox. And now police are like, well, maybe this is not a kidnapping. And they don't tell anybody what they don't tell anybody what they found. They don't tell the daughter. They don't tell him. They just are like, okay, whatever. So this is a little, I guess it's 2004. I don't know. I feel like psychics were like way back in the day, but Terry starts getting calls from the psychics, and they are like, let's talk. So
Sylvester Stallone's mom was calling her.
She finds this one lady who calls her. These psychics coming out the woodwork. So this lady's named Mary Ann Morgan. She's worked on several she's actually a psychic detective.
She's multi-talented.
I did not know that was a thing, but I'm going to look into it. So she's worked on several big cases. So she tells Terry that there's something going on with the house. And she says, you're going to find out that your mother received a letter from a man at the door.
Oh, and it was
And she told Terry that the house was in foreclosure. Terry's like, no. Mom would never let that happen. You're you're stupid. No. So Terry goes and tells the police, this is just what the psychic said. And the police already knew that the house was in foreclosure because they checked them out. But they hadn't released that. So then they didn't release. So then they tell Terry, actually it is. And so she's like so shocked and confused. And she's like, what? So police continue to search the house. Then they go in the garage and they find piles of like boxes piled up in the garage. And there's stuffed with utility bills, mortgage bills, late notices, foreclosure warnings, all addressed to Loretta. And they're like, okay, what is happening? Why is this stuff shoved in a box in the garage? And it's all to Loretta. So the police then go back. Okay, they're like, okay, this can't be a kidnapping. So they're like, okay, Taw, can we just search your car? Let's just search your car. So there was like some brush on the undercarriage of his car. And there was a pickaxe and a shovel inside. But he was like, I mean,
two normal things to have in a car.
That's
it
what
snows.
Yeah. In Arizona?
It snows in Arizona all the time,
all
right?
the time. And then they go and they start looking at cell phone records. So the cell phone records show that Taw was in the desert for 2 hours. So this is his timeline. This is what he says. He left home at 10:10 a.m. He arrived in Casa Grande at 11:30. He arrived in Tucson at 12:30. But call towers in Casa Grande showed that he spent a longer time in that area. And the hotel said that he didn't arrive at the hotel until 2:30. So he's saying he got to the hotel at 12:30, but the hotel's like, no, you weren't here till 2:30. So his timeline is not matching up based on what he's reporting to the police. And they're like, where were you for 2 hours? Where were you from that 2 hours? You said you were at the hotel. You weren't at the hotel for 2 hours later. Where were you for 2 hours? And he said that, well, he was at his meeting. And they're like, no, you weren't. The cell phone records show that you were in the middle of the desert. You weren't at a meeting. So, and mind you, this guy, so Terry's confused because she's like, this guy's been basically my stepdad for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where mom is.
Why are they in foreclosure? Because I just bought her out, so she should have millions.
Plenty of money. So police continue to search the house. They then find a wrapped up towel with Loretta's black clutch purse in it, which had her ID, her checkbook, and credit cards. Now, Taw had told police that she had her purse with her in the mall. And because that's why he thought she was kidnapped, because somebody stole her purse. So then they're like,
Taw, just confess. Just confess.
So Taw was adamant. He dropped off Loretta. He saw her walk into the mall with her purse, yet her purse was found in the house. So we got a lot of red flags. And let's play a little tiny clip of what he told the police.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm your puzzle pal, and I'm going to tell you about my latest obsession, Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal, folks. They're high quality, handcrafted, and perfect for anyone who loves a good challenge but doesn't want to dedicate their entire kitchen table to puzzles for a week. Trust me, I've been there. I might still be there. But I got one of these actually for Christmas. I loved it. I did it, and I was so proud of myself. And they have all these cool designs, and you need to go to wongopuzzles.com and use our discount, BHH. You get 10% off. And I really want to know if you'll order one of these puzzles, what you think about it, because it's so fun, and I need to order like 5.
Cure hydration. If you are obsessed with your hydration like I am, this may be something good for you. This is something that is so easy. Forget about the Gatorade. That just dehydrates you even more. And if you don't like the taste of coconut water, try Cure Hydration. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. This is vegan. It's no added sugars. It's just a little packet you could put in your water. Or if you're really smart during happy hour, you could put it into your Tito's. It is just as effective as an IV drip. And if you do not like the taste of water, it's not as boring as water, not as sugary as the sports drink. And if you're an athlete, it'll give you the best performance. Or if you just get brain fog or headaches because you do not stay hydrated.
Brain frog?
Brain fog. The solution is Cure Hydration. So go to that link, enter the code. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. Cure Hydration.
I was not prepared to have to account minute for minute for my time. I'm wondering if my watch was off.
I confront him with the fact that, look, we have detectives at your house in Tempe. They found Loretta's clutch purse. How is she supposedly shopping at Park Place Mall, and yet her purse is over here? And he was pretty shaken.
I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't.
I told him, I think something happened to Loretta, and I think you're not telling us the truth.
Plain and simple is she never made it down here. This whole thing is gonna come down like a deck of cards.
Like a deck of cards.
So, okay. Taw obviously becomes the prime suspect. But they did not have sufficient evidence to arrest him. Okay. So.
Yeah, because all you have is lies. You can put them in the desert, but you don't have a body. And that's it.
They don't have it. Police, at this point, feel like Loretta is dead and that Taw killed her. But he was free to go because it didn't have anything.
He went back to Scotland on his motorcycle.
Nope. Let me tell you a little bit about Taw's background.
He's really not tall.
A criminal check came back from Washington, Virginia, and there was some fraud activity. Instead of coming from... Taw told a lot of stories. I don't think he was ever in Scotland, and he said he was in Saudi Arabia and some other place and stuff. But actually,
Dirty Chad podcast.
It might be. Taw was actually he had just gotten out of prison because he was a fraud. So,
and that's why he needed somewhere to live.
Yeah. So Taw goes back to the Tempe house after he's released from prison. Well, I'll come back to his background. He gets back home. Terry's like checking on him, because she's just kind of wants to keep tabs on him. And then she also is like, she's confused. She doesn't know what to think.
Yeah.
She's calling, checking in on him. And then she starts calling and he stops answering. And she's like, well, why isn't he answering? And then it's calls again, doesn't answer, calls again, doesn't answer. 9 days go by. She doesn't hear from him. So she calls the police and she's like, he's not answering. I don't know if he's gone. Like, can you just go check the house? I have no idea. So they do a wellness check. And they get there and they search the house. And they go into the garage.
He's hanging.
And he's hanging from an electrical cord and he is deceased.
What? You did all that just to kill yourself?
Terry is in shock. She's like, what? And now that's like, we'll never know. Like, what happened to, where's Loretta?
Oh, 'cause they hadn't found the body yet.
No.
Okay.
So they're like looking over all these records, and then Terry soon finds out the extent of his betrayals. She finds out that Loretta's checkbook, so she would write a check, like let's say she was doing the mortgage payment, but the checkbook showed that she writes the check and then it gets deposited into his account because apparently he did some like clearing of it. I don't know how you clear it off. How do you clear it off? I need to learn. I'm not a con artist, so I don't know how to do these things. I should ask. Never mind. Terry finds the checkbook. First thing, mortgage payment. Looks at Taw's bank account, and all of these checks that Loretta had paid are in Taw's bank account. So it's very confusing. And he apparently had said to Loretta, hey, I'll mail in the rent check. And he washes the rent check and remakes it to himself and is stealing the money every single month.
But you're married to the woman. You already have the money. You're living the life. What, do you just want it to yourself?
Here's the thing.
He didn't love her. What? I don't understand.
They need to have
the rush.
Yes, they need the excitement. I mean, that's
just to die, and then you just died.
Well, we'll find out. So then the foreclosure notices start coming in, and he like hides the mail, and Terry is like, I think my mom was starting to figure out who he was and what he was doing. And Terry ends up finding out that he had fraud several other women in the past, obviously. And she was like, did he, and then she goes and she's like, did he ever really love her? Did he ever, what was just this all a fraud from the beginning? Like
a plan?
That's a long fraud. I mean, I understand a 3-year fraud.
Yeah. But it's a lot of money to steal too.
So police, yes. So they find out that he had done this to other people and defrauded other people, and he just would suck the money out of everybody, and he would use his charm to just get away with it, and he was a serial abuser and a predator of women.
Gosh.
He would usually stay with women for only 3 to 5 years, and he would usually get about $1 to $3 million.
Oh my gosh. He was researching while he was in prison.
Absolutely.
It's so much effort. Just put that into something else. I don't understand it.
She says the person that I knew for the last 17 years wasn't the person. It wasn't Taw. I think he's a pathological liar, clearly.
Is his real name Taw?
Probably not. Probably not. I don't know T-A-W, and I don't know the name of Taw. But she said the first moment he opened his mouth, he was lying through his teeth. He was never from Scotland. Everything was a lie. She said it almost makes the earth kind of fall out from under your feet. Nothing was real.
That was why we never trust anybody. And she really sorry, Terry, but she really served her mom up on the platter because it was her idea.
I know, but listen, she did it because the Three's Company did it.
That's on TV.
I know. So we got Taw's dead, Loretta's missing still, and it just seems like where the case isn't over because where's Loretta? And it's like, let me go check the desert, the whole ass desert, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
I mean, so then a few weeks go by, no results. They tried to search the desert, and then the police call off the search. They're like, oh, well, we'll just have to call it a cold case, I guess. But Terry is DTF, so guess who she calls? She calls the psychic back.
Hell yeah, I might have would have called her too.
So she calls, and the psychic comes over, and she says, she said that Taw, this is what the psychic said that Taw did to Terry. Taw came up to Terry behind her back and put a plastic bag over her head, strangled her, and she fought, but he was stronger. And the psychic said she could see blue. There was blue everywhere, and that she could hear children laughing, and that she was 150 feet from the blue.
Okay.
So Terry searches for months and months and months and months, and I guess she's looking at all
For
the
the blue?
blue, and nothing happened. But that all changed in January 2006.
2 years later.
13 months after she'd been missing.
Oh, 1 year month.
And this is when it comes full circle. A family parks at an abandoned motel and do some rock digging and fossil hunting. And all of a sudden, a son goes up to the mom and says, we got to get out of here. Does this sound familiar? This is where we started. Mom comes over, sees the skull with the blonde hair. Hikers come across this. So they're coming across the skull in this Arizona desert. They call police. And they find the remains of Loretta in the shallow grave with boulders on top of it. The remains were wrapped in a bag. The motel's exterior
It's blue!
was blue!
Oh, my goodness. This bitch was in on it. She killed Taw.
And it was next to a kid's playground that was also painted blue.
Oh, my
And her cause of death was asphyxiation.
No, she was there. I don't believe
How did she... What if she was?
She was
Damn
there.
it.
She
She
ki-
was
She
there.
partnered up with Taw.
She did. She got the money too.
And she killed him.
She's probably dating him now. Oh hell, it's conspiracy. It's actually probably fact.
It's what?
It's fact. Man,
She was dating Taw and in on it. And so she needed Taw to fall, to go down for it.
Yep. She wanted to keep her job, and so she's like, just kill yourself. Go hang yourself with that electrical cord. Make sure it's real strong. So, phone records show on December 13th, Loretta was on the phone with Wells Fargo. They believe that she found out about the foreclosure, and she confronted Taw. And the confrontation turned violent, and that's why Taw placed the bag over her head and held it there until she suffocated to death. And today, Terry hopes that her mother's story goes out as a warning to other women who are in similar situations. She says it can start small and subtle, and you have to investigate. You have to do your due diligence. You have to trust your intuition. You can't ignore the warning signs. I kept believing my mother because I never thought she would be misled, and maybe there was shame there. He wasn't going to let her go. So she says it's important for her to speak out and warn other women about these charming predators and how these con men operate. It's not always what you think. They don't just walk in and then they're suddenly the bad guy.
Wow.
The end.
Wow.
Buried in the backyard.
This is crazy.
And that is the story of Loretta Bowersock and Taw Benderly.
Not his real name.
Not his real name. And the psychic who knew all.
Listen, do a background check and a credit check on
Well,
your people.
let
that
me
you
tell
marry.
you.
They might
I
not have a
recently
record.
found out that you can have your background expunged of certain items, mainly fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go work at a company and it doesn't show up on the background check. I just think that I mean if you have it expunged, it doesn't show up.
It doesn't show up.
So
And you can pay a couple $1,000s probably to do that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. If you do it within a few years, and every state's different.
Mm.
But so, needless to say, sometimes it only takes a simple Google search. Wow. And if the name is Taw or Chad, you
That's a
probably
red
did realize it's a real red flag. It's bright red.
Oh my goodness. I'm just so surprised it lasted almost 20 years. Like he was in for it. Was his retirement one.
Yeah, like
So I wonder if Terry got the money back. Cuz it was put in Tall's account, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe she was calling and then I have no idea.
Wait,
Because
not Terry. Who's Terry? The daughter?
Well, Terry's the daughter,
Yeah.
but you meant Loretta.
Well, no, Loretta's dead now. So did it
Oh,
go
yeah.
to her?
I don't know
heir, which
because
have been...
she probably had to pay the foreclosure. I mean, she probably had to. I don't know how that works. If you die in your house in foreclosure, the bank has to pay. Does the bank pay it, or I mean, I have no idea.
Mm.
Listen, it's very similar. This is very similar to what Dirty Chad situations.
Yeah. Yes.
I understand the hiding the mail, finding out your house is
Thinking there.
almost in foreclosure because they've been telling you for 3 months you haven't paid, where to check. I've been sending a check.
Mm-hmm. Was he washing the check? Oh, you know what? To hear the rest of that, you need to go listen to Dirty Chat
On our Patreon.
Go subscribe to Patreon. Episode 0 dropped this week.
And if you place your order for shirts, we still
have them.
We're still getting orders, so we're gonna place it soon. We'll let you know, so we don't forget about you.
Yeah, we did not steal your money and go.
No, we definitely didn't. But maybe we did. If we did, we're leaving. We're off the air.
We're going to Scotland on our motorcycle.
Yep.
That's a good story and a quick one.
Yeah,
we've been doing some quick ones. They're good.
Well, because listen, this is going to be on Patreon, Taylor Should Business, because we are currently in trial.
Oh, yeah.
And let me just tell you, so she's from Wisconsin.
I mean,
which is where Chandler Halderson, and he's the one who chopped up his parents, and most likely, I mean, I think he at least took a nibble, and Jeffrey Dahmer, and obviously we know about him. Well, as of yesterday, we find out in the trial, she'd been Googling Jeffrey Dahmer. She Googled Jeffrey Dahmer's butt. She Googled all this stuff.
What?
She Googled all this stuff. I'm sure she took, I mean,
was she on meth?
Yes.
She's the one that was on meth?
She was, they smoked marijuana. They did meth. They shot trazodone. They smoked the bitch. They did it all.
Wow. So you're going to cover their full story on Patreon, or you're going to just tell us about the trial on Patreon?
I'm going to read you the criminal complaint.
Okay.
And give some comments, because the trial is going on currently. So then after the trial, I'll be able to actually tell the story.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do like, what is she accused of? What is about to happen in this trial? And
Nice. Okay. Well, good story. You guys send that to a couple of your friends, especially if you think one of your friends is married to a Dirty Chad or a Taw or about to marry one, or
if they live in Arizona and maybe they might find a skull and need to report it, and it could be solve a missing case.
Or they can go take a picture of the crime scene for us and send that to us.
I want to see the blue hotel with the playground next to it.
That bitch was in on it. She's just living her life.
We should call her and do an interview.
Now, if this is true and she has no attachment to Taw, they need to hire her. Tempe, Arizona police needs to hire this lady.
You know what? I think we need to contact her. Marianne Morgan.
Okay. All right, y'all. We will see y'all Tuesday. And go check out our Patreon, because episode 0 of Dirty Chad should be there. Only people at the live show was able to hear it. Now it's your turn. We'll also post the T-shirt order out soon so that everybody can order the Dirty Chad T-shirts. And then
we do have some new people, but we'll shout you out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, next episode. So we can get all the
new people, and then we'll read our reviews that we have. All right, we will see y'all next time. Don't forget to
Stay aware.
stay alive.
And always be like Terry and be DTF.
DTF. Down to find. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Everybody has a story worth telling. I'm Corey Duncan. On Best Story Ever, I take guests that you know through their most unique and captivating stories. The best part? I hear the story for the first time when you do. Everyone has a story. What's yours? Find Best Story Ever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y esto es Zona del Crimen. Un podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair. And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of By the Cover Podcast. We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those too also.
We are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it. It's because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything. Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.